right.
Okay.
So, everybody, you know who this is. It's Epic Epcar.
Hi, everyone.
So, I guess I'll start off. Who's your favorite to voice, even though I don't know?
Well, I know who your favorite is. I know it's Inspector Lunge. I know that's your favorite, right?
Exactly, but who's yours?
Well, I've done over 600 characters, so there's a bunch of them in there that I like. Raiden is certainly one of my favorite characters. The Joker, uh, Bato and Ghost in the Shell, um, Ansem and Kingdom Hearts. Who else do I like? I'm looking around the room because that'll help me. Jigen, of course. Jigen from Lupin the Third. I've been doing him for like 20 years now. And actually, I want to put a little plug in for Lupin the Third. Lupin the Third, the first, the movie is on Amazon right now, and it's an incredible movie. It's all CGI and looks incredible. And I played Jigen in that, of course, and I did the English adaptation of that movie, and it's an amazing movie. So if you get a chance, watch it on Amazon. That was a great one. There's an obscure character that I play in Xenosaga. I play Ziggurat 8, Ziggy, and that was kind of a fun thing. That was a while ago, but we did 3 of those. We were supposed to do 5 of them, but we wound up doing 3 of them, and he's a very cool character. I like playing him a lot, and God, there's so many wonderful characters that I'm fortunate enough to play. I just played a really fun character in a game which I unfortunately can't talk about because we just did it and it hasn't come out yet. But when it comes out, I can talk about it. But it's another big character in a big franchise game. So there's a lot of them, just a lot of them out there that I've done. Oh, and
What do you,
Joseph Joestar, I can't forget him. He's a big one too.
oh yeah,
And
I
of
think I
course,
actually put him on your mug finally.
did you? Let's see.
Yeah, he's on
Here's
there
the mug.
somewhere,
Here's the mug that you made for me. Is it the
right at
same
the
on both
very
sides?
bottom. Very bottom on the left, I think, or on the right on that.
On the right. Yeah, you're right. He's right here. Here he is.
I knew I wouldn't forget him.
Here he is. Yeah, there he is.
Um, so what are your thoughts on Inspector Lunge from Monster?
I thought Monster was a really cool show to be part of, and I liked it because it wasn't. It certainly wasn't a typical anime. I mean, by any means, it was more of a detective thriller kind of a show, and I love those kinds of shows. So it was really fun to be part of that, and he was a really wonderful character to play. He was like a monk or a detective who like Columbo, someone who's just like so into their work, even beyond those characters. He was so into his work that with the exclusion of everything else in his life, his family, his wife, his kids, I mean, he pushed everything off to the side to pursue this. He was obsessed with finding this character, and it was an incredible show. I thought it would, it was one of those shows they could have literally just made a live action version of it, and it would have been, pretty much the same as a real life thing because it was so realistic the way they animated it. And I loved it. He was a really tough cop, and he really, was, had tunnel vision on what he wanted to do. But it was a great character.
Oh yeah, he's obviously my favorite, mainly because his memory is a lot like mine. Uh,
Really?
yeah, it drives my family crazy because it's like, how can you remember all this little detail? I'm like, I don't know, I just do.
Well, that's, you know what, that's actually a wonderful thing to have. I think that's great. I used to be really good about that too. As I'm getting older, I'm not so great about it anymore. But no, I think it's great to have a memory for detail and remember stuff like that and remember dates and all that. And yeah, he was very astute about everything. And he even did the thing with the hand where he was, in his mind, he was typing it in so he could remember everything. And it was a very interesting gimmick, I think, that they came up with for him. He was a very cool character. I liked him a lot. I liked playing him. I was kind of hoping we'd they'd go to another story and have him show up again. But who knows what's going to happen with him? I mean, there's been talk of them doing another season, which would be great. I would love it.
Maybe the first season can finally get on DVD.
Yeah, that's a shame. There's so much, and I hate to say it, volatility and instability in some of these companies that, they come out with stuff. Listen, when we did the first batch of Lupin the Third, we did an entire season of the Red Jacket series. We started the second season, and then the company went belly up. So that was the end of that. And I thought that was the end of Lupin. I thought we'd never do Lupin again. And then a few years later, we started getting all kinds of Lupin product, and we have not stopped. And even as we speak, I'm working on another Lupin movie right now, a different one. And I'm adapting that. I'm going to play Jigen in that, and I'm going to direct that one as well. So, it's wonderful because when I did the original Red Jacket series, I was hoping that we'd continue on with more of it because I loved the show so much, and I wanted to do more of those. So, be careful what you wish for. We've done so many of them, and actually, the Blue Jacket series, the first one that came back, was on Toonami. I co-directed that with my wife because they wanted it in such a short amount of time. It would have been impossible for one director to do it. So we kind of split it up, and we took it in different studios, and we worked from 9 a.m. to 11 at night. And we had less than a month to finish the entire series, which is unheard of. And we did it. We got it done. And then it went on Toonami and became the #1 show on Toonami. And then they brought in another Blue Jacket series, and they had me come in and direct it. And we didn't have to rush it quite as much this time, but that went on and did very, very well. And then from there, we just had so many of the movies and other things, and talking about doing another series right now with a company. So there's a lot of stuff going on with Lupin the Third, and I'm really happy about that. And he's finally getting his day in the sun that he deserves. So, hopefully the same thing will happen for Lunge. I hope so. Did everyone see the lovely cup that you made for me? The lovely cup and the lovely T-shirt that you made for me. I really appreciate it.
Took me forever to get the design right on that. I that's actually probably one of my favorite designs that I made on that mug.
The mug looks great. I love the mug. Because you asked me, you sent me the shirt and you said, do you want it on a mug? And I said, yeah, that would be very cool. Because I'm a big coffee drinker, so it's fun to have all these characters on there.
Coffee is the secret of happiness.
You got some interesting ones on here. You got Lunk from Robotech. You got some of the ones I don't even know. You got the Joker on there. You got God, some of these guys I don't know. Oh, you have Commissioner Gordon on there from Batman Unlimited. You have Bateau, Ghost in the Shell.
I had to put Raiden on there.
Raiden is on there. Absolutely, you have to do Raiden.
Oh God, I remember on your first shirt. On your
Uh,
first shirt I did, the very first one I did, which I'm so ashamed of that design. I forgot to put Rated on there. And I was like, oh no, how could I forget that?
well, like I said, there's 600 of them, so you can't get them all on there. But and that actually, the thing I liked about that shirt was you had a picture of me in the center, which I liked. I think that was nice. You had a picture of me on the shirt, so I kind of like that actually.
I think Feldman liked that too when I did that. And I'm like, well, wouldn't you rather have your character? He goes, no, I like me on there.
Well, it's kind of nice, when my wife and I first started doing the conventions, we would do these banners with just our characters on it, and then people wouldn't know who we were. So we finally we realized you have to, kind of put a face with the voice. So we started putting our faces on there so people would know who we were. And that seemed to work a lot better actually. So
Um,
go ahead.
So what's your favorite Raiden moment?
Whenever I'm playing him is my favorite Raiden moment. I love doing that character. He's just great. And we get to record at Warner Brothers studio, which I love. Any excuse to go to Warner Brothers. I love being on that lot. And particularly when I'm doing the Joker on there, I just feel like, wow, I'm doing a Batman, thing as the Joker on the Warner Brothers lot. I mean, that's to me, that's just like, wow, that's really something. So I really enjoy that a lot. And anytime you go on these big lots is really kind of cool. A lot of the shows we work on, they record different little studios around town, but when you go on one of the major motion picture lots and record this stuff, it's just beyond cool. We when we did I did a game a long time ago. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Wow, I can't remember the name of it, but it was from a TV show, and it'll come to me at some point. Wow, there's just too many to remember. But anyway, we recorded at Paramount, which was very cool. And I really, like I say, anytime you go on these major movie lots and record these games, it's just, to me, I love that because I'm an actor, and so I used to do a lot of TV and film and stuff like that. And so to go on these lots was really great. And then just to go on the lots and do this kind of work, it's always nice to be on any of those lots. And we record a lot of stuff. I've worked on the Fox film lot for a lot of different projects. And a lot of those movies that I do, like where I play Colossus, and I did the efforts for Colossus, and trying to remember the other name of the other character, but it's what's his name, the Deadpool movies that I worked on 1 and 2, and some other of the big films like Planet of the Apes. I did the ape sounds and stuff for some of the big apes and all that stuff. So it's really fun to go on these big lots and work and do those kinds of shoots.
Was there any special sets like that when you were doing Kingdom Hearts?
Kingdom Hearts, well, we did Disney is a part of that. We sadly did not record any of that on the Disney lot, but we did do a lot of the stuff with Disney personnel present, and that was a really fun thing. I had no idea what I was getting into when they hired me for Kingdom Hearts. Is an interesting story if you want to hear it. It's kind of a
Oh yeah, I'll listen. I'm sure a lot of people will.
Okay, well, Kingdom Hearts started out, and Billy Zane played Ansem, the character that I play, and he did one of them, and for whatever reason, he didn't continue on. He just did one. He did the first one, and the reason I got that job was because the producers wanted to replace him, and they wanted to know who did the voice of Bateau in America, because the guy in Japan who does the voice of Ansem was the voice of Bateau in Japan. So the Japanese producers asked Disney who does the voice of Bateau in America, and they said Richard Epcar. So they basically just cast me for that part without me even auditioning, which is really rare for this business. As I said, I've done over 600 characters, and I've maybe been cast in 5 of those roles without auditioning. So that was really a big deal. So I went in, and the first time I went in, I didn't know anything about the game. I didn't know what Billy Zane's take on the character was. I didn't know any of that stuff. So I had to just basically defer to the director. And when I went in, there was 6 Japanese executives, and there was 6 executives from Disney in there. And I would do a line, and the engineer would come on the talk back and go, just a minute. And they would talk amongst themselves for 5-10 minutes. And they come back and say, can you do that line a little faster? So I do the line a little faster, and they go, just a minute. And they would talk amongst themselves for 5-10 minutes. Can you do that line a little slower? So this went on like all day. And by the end of it, I was like ready to jump off a cliff. And finally we had a break, and I took the engineer aside. I said, how did Christopher Lee put up with this? And he said, oh, they did it to him once. And he said, all right, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do here. I'm going to read this script from the top to the bottom, and then I'm going home. And I thought, how cool was that. But he was Christopher Lee after all. He didn't want to waste his time. He was in his 80s when he was doing it, so he really did not want to waste his time. But that was really cool. And I got to hear his tracks when I was doing my stuff, so that was really cool.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of scenes where you two are together. So
yeah.
I haven't played two in Lord knows when. Personally, if you know, because you've already seen, I did a blog post about it a couple of years ago. Which Ansem do I prefer? I actually prefer your version over Billy Zane's.
Oh, thank you. Well, I've done 9 of them now. He's done 1, so
Yet so many people are like, I thought Billy Zane did it. It's like, no, he did 1.
He did 1, yeah. I've had a career of kind of coming in and doing these characters after somebody else has done them, and what happens generally is I get a big backlash. People will hate me, for doing that, and then as it goes along, they like me, and then they wind up. Hopefully, I win them over in the end. So the same thing happened with the Joker when I first did the Joker. I got a lot of backlash because people love Mark Hamill. And who can blame them? He's a very beloved voiceover actor and actor. And as time went on, people really started to accept my Joker and really like it, and I'm really grateful for that. So and even Mark Hamill liked my Joker. So I
seen that post.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. That really made my day. That was very, very kind of him. He certainly didn't have to do that. But it goes to the point that what a nice man he is and what a good guy he is. So so I appreciated it. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Ansem line?
Darkness is the heart's true essence.
I'd have to say mine is actually Kingdom Hearts 3, his final lines. There's more to seek, so go forth now and seek it.
Yeah, there's more to seek. So go forth now and seek it. Yeah, apparently that got to a lot of people when I said that line.
Well, it felt like it was him talking directly to the audience. Like the Xehanort arc is done, so there's more to look forward to.
Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you for reminding me of that. That's a really good one.
That's just my overanalyzing brain just saying, well, this is how. Is there a particular character that you would like to do the voice of in the future?
I'd love to do Batman, actually. And I thought it would be kind of fun for me to do Batman and the Joker in the same project because they sound so different. Just like when I do Raiden and the Joker together, you have no idea. Even there's people at NetherRealm Studios that still don't believe that the same guy that does the Joker does Raiden. They still don't believe that. And Dom, the director, has always told me that. He goes, they don't believe it. They don't believe it's the same guy. So I said, well, when next time I'm in Chicago for a convention or whatever, I'm going to set aside a few days and I'm going to go to the studio and I'm going to do the voices for them so they can hear me do them side by side. And, those guys are terrific. And I've been doing those two characters for over 12 years now, if you can believe that, in several games, starting with Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. And, they've been just terrific to me. And I just really love being part of that franchise for all these years.
So here's another question. What did you think of my Chrono Trigger Dreamcast voice list, having you cast as Magus?
I think that who is Magus? I don't know who this character is.
Well, he's very similar to Ansem in a way. He uses shadow magic, and he's the anti-hero of the group. Like he joins the party at the last minute, but he's the one who wants revenge and he wants to fight for vengeance. And he's really high up there with his magical abilities.
Okay.
Plus, he looks very similar to Myotismon, and that's how I got the So
another one of my characters that people really like, Myotismon and Edamon. Those were two very fun characters. Edamon in particular, well, Myotismon was my Dracula. I played Dracula on stage for a long time. And so he was basically my Dracula without the accent. And my Edamon was Elvis, obviously, and he was a lot of fun because I got to sing and do all kinds of crazy things with him. He was really fun. I'm showing the cup here. It's the cup.
Hey, I'm glad you like the cups. Amazing. Would you actually do a line for one of Magus's lines and read it in your voice?
What is his line? What is the line?
Um, the bitter black winds have begun to howl. Come, if it is death you seek.
The bitter black winds have begun to howl. Come, if it's death that you seek.
All right. See, now you are automatically the English Magus voice. So there you go. If there's any producers
I'm waiting
watching,
for my check.
If there's any producers watching for the Chrono Trigger remake, we've got a Magus right here.
That's right. Damn you, producers.
So what did you think of getting to play in the Street Fighter 2 movie as E Honda?
I did E Honda so long ago. God, it was a while ago that I did him.
That was actually my first introduction to your voice.
Really? Yeah, I liked it. He was a fun character, and that kind of he was kind of in the vein of Lunk and Ben Dixon back in the Robotech days. He was kind of a similar character in many ways. I liked him a lot, and I was kind of bummed that when they did other versions of it and they didn't use me for E Honda, and I was kind of bummed about that. But I wound up doing Akuma in Street Fighter V, the game, which was fun to do that character. He's tough though, because his voice is just so, Akuma, he's down here, master of the fist. And it's like, you do hours of that, and so you might as well just be gargling battery acid, it's just it's really, that's a rough voice to do, but he's a fun character.
So is there any other?
I want to see Akuma and Raiden fight. I want to see who's win that. And my money's on Raiden, but I'd be curious to see. I'm sure Akuma would be a good adversary for him to fight.
Oh yeah, Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. Somebody make that happen.
Yeah, they should. They absolutely should. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, but Capcom, they're so greedy with everything. You know what I mean? They don't want to just share out their properties like that. And I think they're rivals to the Mortal Kombat team, aren't they?
Yeah, they kind of are rivals. So, but it would be a good match for everybody, and everyone would win. It'd be a win-win.
The games would sell millions. I mean,
I think it would be a smart move for both of those companies to do. I'm sure they would, both benefit from doing that. But it's up to them. I can't. Every time I try to project my thoughts on this stuff, I get in trouble. So I don't. I want to stay away from that. But I think it would be a good matchup. I think that would work very well. And I think, it would be a good matchup with Marvel. I think that would be a very cool thing too. There's so many superheroes that could fight against each other. That would be really kind of a fun.
Oh yeah, we would really like to see that. Spider-Man versus Batman. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it'd be very, very cool. I think it would be very cool. I still want to see the the Ben Affleck Batman movie they were going to make. I'm really bummed that they didn't make that.
Which is odd because Ben Affleck looks surprisingly close to the cartoon version of Bruce Wayne from the animated series.
Yeah, no, I thought that they finally actually kind of got it right, and because I don't know, I've never felt like they really got the right Batman, but I think Ben Affleck kind of fitted pretty well, and also he was just tough as nails. I just love that about his Batman. He was just, oh my God, he just would, that one scene in Batman versus Superman when he saves Superman's mom. That was just the coolest scene I've ever seen in any Batman property. To me, that was the coolest Batman scene ever. Aside from Batman Origins, which I co-directed, I just thought the animation in that was amazing when he's fighting. Who was he fighting? It was his nemesis.
Was it Doomsday? It's been a while since I've watched it.
I don't know. Is it Doomsday? He kind of looks like Deathpool, the guy, but he's a very serious version of that character. I can't remember that character, but anyway.
Red Hood?
Who?
Red Hood?
No, it wasn't Red Hood.
Oh,
But anyway, it
it's been
was
a
such.
while.
There's a scene where he's trying to kill Batman, and oh my God, it's just such a. It looks so amazing. It looks so realistic, and the Batman in that game looks amazing. The suit and everything was great. It looked incredible, and it looked very realistic, like like it was live action. They did a great job on that. Um, and it's just amazing to me as these games go on, even with Mortal Kombat. Every incarnation of Mortal Kombat, the animation gets better and better and better, and it just looks so incredible. It looks amazing. It just I wish this is my wish, and I'm not. It's probably not going to happen, but I would love it. I wish they would just take those characters from the game and make an animated feature film with all of us that do those characters in the game. And I just think they've got so much material there that it would be incredible. And I would love that, because all of the storylines and the vignettes that they put in there, I think they're just wonderful. I really like that part.
Oh, definitely. I'm a big MK fan, so
Yeah, me too.
I actually used to play Raiden a lot when I was a kid, and my brother hated it because I knew how to do Raiden's electric ability a lot better than he did, and he just hated it because I would just cheat the whole way through.
Well, you weren't cheating, or just using it, to your advantage.
Exactly. Just like in the original Street Fighter game, I would use Bison's slide.
Yeah, there you go. And I heard that the latest world championship, the gamer, the guy who won, used Akuma. He used Akuma, and that he won the world championship with that on the fighting game thing. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Is there any anime characters that you voiced that you really didn't care about? Like, it's like I just don't like his personality. It doesn't mesh well with me.
God, I don't know. The problem with that is, as I said, I do so much of this work that if I don't particularly like a character or whatever, I'll probably just forget about it. The only characters that I don't that I don't really like are the ones that scream a lot. Because it's just that's just hard on your instrument. That's all. I mean, but as far as the portrayal or acting of these characters, it's always fun to jump in and play all different kinds of characters. It's that's what being an actor is all about. So I really like that. I see my eyebrow looks weird, so I'm going to adjust it there. Like Craigie McGee over here. But yeah, no, to me, it's all fun. It's all fun. You get to jump in and play these incredible characters. And listen, I've been very, very fortunate in that I get to play a lot of wonderful characters and a lot of very dynamic, strong characters, which is great. And then I've played some funny. I mean, I did a bunch of characters in Skyrim. That game, Skyrim, I did about 30 or 40 different characters in that, and they're all cowards, every one of them. So it was really kind of a fun juxtaposition from the characters that I usually play, to play all these cowardly characters. So that was actually it was a lot of fun to do that. So yeah.
So if Digimon ever got an uncut redub, would you do it again?
Sure, why not? Why wouldn't I?
I would. I've actually got a petition kind of going around to get Digimon Adventure and uncut dub. Leave the Japanese music and stuff in.
Isn't there? I don't know if I saw something online. Maybe it was from you. I don't know, but about that they were coming back with that they were going to do another Digimon series or something, and Edamon was going to be in it. And some of the people were asking if my Otismon was going to return, or they were. So I don't know. I mean, that would be fun. It would certainly be fun to go back and do those characters again.
I mainly ask because animes like Dragon Ball Z, they got their uncut versions done later on.
Yeah.
And I was thinking Sailor Moon got one. Like, well, why not Digimon? A lot of kids loved it, and they would probably like to see the uncut version that we missed of it instead of having to watch it in Japanese.
Sure. Yeah.
I would actually like to see Zero Two get an uncut redub, and mainly because Myotismon is the main villain in it at the very end.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was a fun character, and I know a lot of. I mean, to this day, when we go to conventions, I have people come up to me and that they were, very enamored. Mostly girls that were enamored with my Otismon, which I thought, okay, he's a cartoon character, take it easy. But they're very enamored with this character, so I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, he's got a fan base around him.
Yeah, he does.
I actually know a few friends from high school that had a crush on him. It's like they would draw him or on her notebook or whatever, and I'm like, okay, well then. And I thought I
Yeah,
was bad.
yeah. People are into that stuff. They're really into it.
Oh yeah.
Let me ask you what besides doing these great T-shirts and cups, what is it? What do you do normally? What is your normal job?
I work in a grocery store or I run my YouTube.
Okay, that's
Mainly
good.
mainly I do reviews on YouTube. That's what my main focus is.
Uh-huh.
My latest actual review video was the retrospective for Streamline Pictures.
Okay.
If you
I,
remember that
I
old company.
yeah, I worked on a bunch of Streamline. So Streamline is Carl Masek's company,
Hmm.
and I did a lot of stuff for Carl. And actually, Carl kind of got me started in the business on Robotech. So I started out with him, and then he created his own company and went to Texas with it. But I did do some of the stuff, and actually there was one of the Lupins that he did, Castle of Cagliostro, that I did some voice work on. Some people thought I did Goemon, but I didn't do Goemon. It was somebody else. But
I think that was Steve Kramer.
uh, I think it was Michael Gregory, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, yeah, he had a bunch of people. I know Kramer did work on a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, he and Wendy, I know, and Barbara were definitely in the Streamline animes, especially the older ones.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was on a bunch of that stuff too as well. Yeah, it was yeah, Carl got when he started Robotech, he got a lot of us, my wife worked in a lot of the stuff and did a lot of different characters in that too. And we all kind of cut our teeth on that show. And we all still know each other. I mean, Tony Oliver was Rick Hunter, and he's my Lupin, and we've worked, and he directed me in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I've directed him in Lupin, and so we've known each other for a long time since Robotech, and a lot of those people we started out in Robotech. We all still know each other and hang out and work on projects together still. How many years later? I don't know, like 30 years later.
Um, see, I think I
So
had Jerry Beck on the show. Yeah, I had him. He
yeah,
was right before I did Dorothy's interview, and I had him on the show, and he was talking about Streamline. So yeah, this works out. I think the computer's freezing a little bit.
good. Yeah, Dorothy has worked for me. Uh, Dorothy's worked for me on many occasions, and she's always a joy to work with. She's always a lot of fun. And we did God, what was the name of that movie? We did a great movie. I can't remember this. See, that's what I'm talking about. There's too many titles to remember. But we did a great animated feature. It was a Russian film about dogs in space. Maybe that's what it was, Dogs in Space. And I think that's on Amazon also. That's really a great animated feature as well. I do John F. Kennedy in that. I directed that and did the adaptation on that. I do the voice of John F. Kennedy, and my wife did some characters on that. And actually, there was a guy who hired me to do John F. Kennedy on an animated miniseries that he did, which was super interesting and incredibly informative. And I hope that comes out soon. I've got to talk to him and see when that's going to come out, because we did that a couple of years ago, and he just loved my Kennedy, loved my JFK that I did for him, and it was a lot of fun working on that project. And so I hope that comes out soon. There's so many, you never know with this stuff. You work on stuff sometimes it comes out, sometimes it doesn't. Or so you work on something and then 5, 6, 7 years later, it comes out with a different title. You don't even know what the hell it is. Sometimes
Yeah.
they do these, especially the games. When you go in to record, everything's so secretive now that sometimes you go in, they have a different name for the game. You don't even know what the hell you're working on. And then when they release it, people go, "Oh, you're in blah, blah, blah." I go, I was in that. I didn't even know I worked on that, because they've changed the name.
So that way you don't go around telling people, "Hey, I just did this."
Yeah, that's part of it. But I just think they don't want, they're just, I don't know, everything's so secretive. They're just worried about everybody stealing everything these days. And it's
Hmm.
kind of a shame. And I also think it's kind of weird because I think it helps the project when you can, when you can promote it and talk about it and say, "Hey, I'm in this," and then your fan base goes and buys the game or, watches the show. I don't see how that hurts anything, to tell you the truth, but apparently they do. So, you're working for them, so you got to do what they say.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, I'd want to say again, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Is there anything you want to say before we close out?
Um, let's see. What do I have to, oh, I've got something on May 1st for all your fans. This is kind of an interesting thing. It's a online convention, which a lot of people are doing these days because no one can go to conventions because of COVID. So we're doing an online convention for Color World. And you can go on either one of my Facebook pages, and I'm going to probably put it on my Instagram as well, but and probably my Twitter account. But it's going to be on May 1st, and you can go on, you can get tickets for it, and we'll have free panels, talk about different things, and I guess you can ask us questions about Lupin the Third. And we can also, you can get some autographed pictures if you like. So it's entirely up to you. And speaking of autographed pictures, if people do want autographed pictures, they can always go to my website, which is richardepcar.com. And you can always order autographed pictures from my website. And I've got a bunch of projects coming up. Sadly, I can't talk about too many of them. And what else did I want to talk? I mean, that's basically what we got coming up. We've got that. We've got a Lupin the Third new movie that we're going to be working on very soon. This month we'll be recording, and hopefully that'll be coming out soon. I can't talk about that yet, but as soon as that gets done, we'll promote that. And that's about it. We've got, like I said, Lupin the Third. The first is on Amazon. You can watch that, and there's another something resleeved. I can't remember, something resleeved that's on Netflix, I think, that I'm in. I don't know. So many things. And a lot of different shows that are on Cartoon Network that I'm in, and a lot of games that are coming out. And like I said, I've got a big game that I just worked on yesterday. No, not yesterday. Yesterday was Saturday. Friday, I worked on it. Which is a continuation of a character that I've done on this series, and it's a wonderful character. I really like him a lot, and I can't talk about that yet either. But a lot of really good stuff, a lot of fun stuff coming out, and it's been good. We're very fortunate. The voice actors are very fortunate because a lot of us do have facilities in our home now. I have a booth here in my office that I record out of, and I've been able to do a lot of games, a lot of animation, and a lot of commercials and things like that from home. And I know a lot of people that are working. Some of them are not fortunate enough to do that, and it's really taken a toll on a lot of people. So I just hope, I hope everybody goes out and gets vaccinated, and I hope we all are safe. And, until that happens, everyone keeps washing their hands and keeps their social distancing and keeps wearing the masks,
Oh
so
yeah.
that we can all return to normal life at some point soon. The people that refuse to get the vaccination, I don't understand that, because it's not just for you, it's for everybody. And how would you feel if you didn't get the vaccination and you got somebody else sick and somebody got ill or died from you not getting the vaccination? So I think that's kind of a selfish thing. And I would just encourage everybody to please go get vaccinated. Let's get rid of this stuff once and for all. And, let's get rid of it and get back to normal and start seeing our friends and going to restaurants and concerts and conventions again. I really miss conventions. I
think
really
a lot
miss,
of people do.
yeah, I really miss going to the conventions and seeing the fans and meeting new friends. And, it's so much fun for us. We just love to do it and hear about the people's takes on our characters and our shows. And it's really fun for us to do that. So I'm hoping and praying that everybody will get vaccinated, and I hope this stuff will be a distant memory, soon.
Hallelujah. So,
Yeah, yeah.
all right. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I'm Richard Epcar. Like and subscribe to Mr. Tim's YouTube. Thank you.